And so it's, I want to write a story is like, what will you sacrifice to save your family, right? Because when you're writing a story, you're about what ifs. That's how stories start, right? What if? You
Mm.
don't just start writing something. You just go, well, what makes it work? What's the inciting incident? What are the characters? What if I do this? What was the reaction to that? So it's called, yeah, Fang and Fur, and then it's two parts. So it's a 40-page story. So I broke it up into two parts. It'll be issue one, issue two, and issue three. However, the backup story, there's always a backup story, is a short story about a human production line workers on a robot factory, right? So what happens is, shit, that's cool. Oh, that's from art, right? It's from. I was just thinking, what is that from?
This this stuff on the screen. This is actually, I guess, it would be a world premiere. Nobody's ever seen this stuff, but and this is a bad picture of it. I could bring up if I could find more, but these are robot parts I was making. I make these.
Wait, hold on. We have to do a little clip of this, so we make sure that when I clip this later, world premiere. Because this is important.
Well,
It's got to be work.
if I can find more pictures of some of the finished ones, I'll look for them. But they're kind of scattered around my computer.
Art victim, world premiere. Art victim. I've got to spell this right. World premiere.
Secret
And
projects that I've never
hold
released.
on, hold on,
And
hold on. Don't start talking. Okay. Let's get this right. I want to have all this knowledge for clip video later. All right, here we go. Art, what is happening? Tell me what this is all about. Let's
this
go.
is a pile of junk. But no, I never released these things, and I've since lost them. But I was making robots, and I don't know what junk robots, whatever. Out of some of this is cement. Let's see. I'll zoom in here. Some of this is wood. Some of these are, this guy here. If I can zoom in right, he was made out of wood and gears and broken computer parts, and a headlamp. Uh, you know, these are great for kids or just whoever likes robots, really, to be able to, give your kid a wooden doll, basically, or a robot doll to be able to take on a trip. He's got a flashlight here. This one's got a flashlight. He was actually made out of a box, so you could open them up, and then there is computer parts inside there. You can attach different arms with these bolts and things like that. This was a robot we found. It was just kind of a toy, and then I was attaching lasers to him. So there's a robot body that was filled with cement. Let's zoom out for this one just a little bit. This was a motion light that I thought looked like a head. Uh, Here, and then what I would do is I'd take blister packs. If you take a blister pack of some, whatever, you can throw cement in there and kind of let it harden up, and then you had your screw through there, and then you can attach arms and legs and all kinds of stuff. Like I said, I'll have to find some. I got some pictures on my hard drive of these things where they're finished. Some of them were finished. These were in the part stage. I think the only one that was like fully posable right now was this guy back here, um, with his head. Headlamps worked good for heads because they lit up. This one actually had some one of those filament fiber optic lights that went in there. Gotta find some better pictures here to show you. But yeah, those are some of them. I got a couple other views.
Right. That's
Um,
awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, world
yeah,
premiere. Yeah. Nobody's ever seen that.
no, nobody's ever seen this stuff.
It's cool. I was thinking like, hey, we're talking about like as creative people, we don't actually just create one thing. We
Oh, I might
we
even have it.
delve into other things. And you're looking at yourself here, right? I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, this is basically you being a sculptor like myself, right? I'm sculpting, you're sculpting as well. And I mean, I've
Hmm.
painted on bones, bro, right? On a bull jaw, because that's the surface I could find. That I painted on wood because or carved wood or carved bone, because bull bone, not like human bone, like or even like a possum head, right? uh is it opossum you guys call it over there? But it's a possum head here, right?
Yeah,
So
we call 'em
skull.
possum.
Yeah. So creative people, they don't stick to one thing. Like I'm learning bass again. Used to play bass and band and all that. So creatively, you find that a lot of people kind of like, if you're creative, you what we call multidisciplined, right? I could be drawing, I'm writing, I could be
Hmm.
doing those like yourself. You
Well,
know, I when I
I'm
cook
heavy.
food, try to make it look very, colorful and very attractive on my plate. Carry on.
I'm heavily disciplined. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, multi talent.
Mhm.
Anything I've done, I've thought with an artist eye. That's why I got into concrete. I got into, I always played around with wood. I had a scroll saw for a while. Um, I remember earlier on when I was a kid, that was one of the first things I did with my, we didn't have very many things. So, like, if I broke a toy or something, I'd keep the parts under my bed. And then for some reason, I don't know if my dad had showed me a little bit of something or something. You get a broken motor and you hook up a battery to it and it spins. You know what I mean? So then I just have these parts under my bed, and I remember having them for years. And my mom would throw them away or whatever. But then this is kind of like a revisit to that whole attitude of like, what can you do with broken toys? What can you do with broken things? To a to me and my artist brain, or to a kid in their brain, those gears are something. They, even though they're screwed onto a piece of wood, they turn, and they will turn the secondary gear. So it kind of gives you something to tinker with, like in the back of a car or something. The light's a functional light, so at some point, when is it a robot? It's
Yeah.
actually got movable arms. You could stick a laser on its back. You could stick, one of these had a backpack where, I had an old phone where it would
Yeah.
go into the backpack. I'm like, so what point is this actually got some AI to it? Is this actually, I'm
Well, when I was
actually,
looking at it, right? When I was looking at it, I was thinking, would it be interesting if you could basically turn it into a something that you can make out of plastic, right? And then you could actually turn it into a toy, get a toy designer to design it into a toy. Because I have a friend, a close friend, who's actually a toy designer,
hmm
right? Um, and he used to work for Hasbro, Mattel, and there's another big name brand starting with L. Can't remember the name of it, but and I've talked to him on our channel here. His name is Hawk, and so I, he's that's his whole career, right? But he's also comic publisher, right? But like, so with and I was thinking like, well, it'd be interesting if you could like do something like that. And I'm also looking at our own stuff that we do, right? And I hadn't thought about doing it as a toy.